Right, good evening everybody. I would like to thank you for coming to the Shelby County June 7th Primary Candidates Forum. Tonight we'll be having a quick discussion with the candidates for the Treasurer's Office and the candidates for the Supervisor's Office. So we're going to start with the candidates for the Shelby County Treasurer's Office. So please welcome incumbent Harlan Bloom, and candidate Shauna Flavor. So we're going to give each candidate a little bit of time just to introduce themselves. And Carolyn, we'll let you go ahead and get started. A minute, yeah, correct.
All right. Good evening. I have gratefully been serving as your Shelby County Treasurer since 2007 and appreciate the opportunity to tell you about myself. I have been married to my husband Bruce for nearly 29 years. We have 3 children, Michaela, Alex, and Jenna. My parents are the late Bob and Marge Kramer. We are all proud, lifelong residents of Shelby County. Prior to being elected, I gained over 20 years of experience in the banking profession as a customer service representative and in the legal profession as a legal assistant. I also have an associate's degree in business management and accounting, graduating with highest honors. Undoubtedly, my education and work history in finance and law paved my path to effectively carry out the functions of being the treasurer, which is centered heavily on fiscal and legal obligations. I strive to be forward-thinking and proactive to accommodate the numerous duties and responsibilities in the Treasurer's Office, implemented by state and national levels. My office staff and I provide high-quality service to thousands of people each year and make every effort to retain all the numerous laws and regulations to assist the customer needs, all while doing our best to keep wait times to a minimum.
Sean?
Hi, my name is Sean Labor. I am married to Jean Labor, who is a lifelong Shelby County resident. I have lived in Harlan for the last 22 years. We have 6 children, 13 grandchildren, 14th on its way. I have worked in numerous jobs. I have customer service, 30 years of that. I have human resource experience. I have accounting experience. I feel I could do a good job at this office to try to make it more convenient, more pleasurable experience than I have seen since I have lived here, and things that I've heard in the community. I would like to try to make it a pleasurable experience, and of course, make it as convenient as possible for our customers within the limits of the law, of course. And I feel we need a change. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll try not to do that. Hold on. All right, so what we'll do is we're going to ask some questions. They're just very general questions. Each candidate will have a chance to respond to that question, and we'll just alternate who responds first. So we'll start with the first question for Carolyn. What do you consider to be the biggest challenges facing the Treasurer's Office over the next 4 years?
A lot of our office is dictated by federal and state and laws that we must mandate, and every day is a challenge. We are constantly striving to meet the challenges of Shelby County and all of Iowa by following state laws, regulations, and provisions that we are obligated to follow. We are upheld by the law to follow those regulations, and there's not any gray area when it comes to doing our office. It's dictated either by the DOT or by the laws, and I feel some of the challenges that we've already faced are providing top-notch service to our customers, and we do that on a daily basis by trying to keep wait times to a minimum and providing them with the good service and the knowledge that my staff and I are expected to have. It's very difficult to, even today we had an email that dictates some new regulations as far as what the Real ID involves. And we have to implement those laws and changes immediately. So we are constantly faced with day-to-day challenges that we have to enforce and uphold. We try to be forward-thinking and proactive in what we do, and meet those challenges on a regular basis.
And Shauna, the same question. What are the challenges that you see coming up over the next 4 years for the treasurer's office?
Everyone has a little more insight there, but I believe, there will always be changes to the law that will always be ongoing for our state legislature, for our federal government. Budget is going to be an issue. Those are the biggest things that I would see that would have to be accomplished and followed.
Okay. So now let's flip it around.
Okay.
What do you think are some of the biggest opportunities for the treasurer's office over the next 4 years?
I think improving our customer service up there, more knowledge for the, employees, not per se that, I would, the treasurer too, but the other employees who work there, they would have to be kept up to date and learn new things, and training is always an issue.
Yes, it is. Okay, Carolyn, for you, the opportunities that you see over the next 4 years for the treasurer's office.
In my office, we manage we're actually 4 different offices. We're the financial government for the county. We maintain all the county records and accounting. That means payroll, and all the offices within the county bring money to our office that we must balance with on a daily basis. 22% of our driver's license customers come from other counties other than just Shelby County. We have to be forward-thinking and trying to prepare them for that. And we are ranked 15th out of the 82 counties that issue a driver's license to out-of-county residents. That's a lot of things that we are obligated to fulfill. We want people to feel appreciated as a customer. We want them to be a name and not a number. We always try to reach a resolution with our customers based on the whys to back it up. We have the documentation that the DOT provides us and manuals that we oftentimes have to research to do that. One of the things that I take great pride in is the fact that we are 11th in the state for the percentage of real IDs issued. And that's because we've taken time with our customers. We try to educate them and let them know what they need to bring into our office to provide that service so that they don't have to make multiple trips. And we try to get things out to the media, whether it be, there's so many avenues with the media here right now, that whether it be the newspaper or social media or websites, we try to provide that service to all of our customers.
Now, we'll start with Carolyn on this one. Unfortunately, over the last few years here in the state of Iowa, through multiple different offices, we've seen around the state, we've seen some, we'll just say some difficulties with their offices, that they ended up being investigated. Most of it was financial. So what are you currently doing, and what will you be doing to ensure the financial integrity of the treasurer's office?
We've never had a problem with that in the Shelby County Treasurer's Office. I'm quite confident of all of our daily balancing, our monthly balancing. I have certified semi-annual reports to the Board of Supervisors every 6 months. We've always been in compliance with all of the DOT balancing that we have to do on a daily basis, on a monthly basis. We are audited annually by our state auditor firm. We've always come through with flying colors with that. We have a resolution in place that we have checks and balances that we follow to a T. I'm very firm and adamant about that. I take great pride in that. I do not at all alter from that. That is your taxpayer dollars that we are holding in our possession. We take in millions of dollars on a regular basis. We take thousands of dollars in every day and millions of dollars in during tax time. That is something that I do not waver from. We balance to the penny all the time. And I'm very adamant about, probably to almost a fault, that if there's something that needs to be corrected by another department, that they do the correction on their own. It's not something that I do for them. I want to have their signature on it because that's also my signature on it, because I take great pride in that.
Sean, the same question, just things that you would do, you know, just to ensure the integrity of the office financially.
A lot of what Carolyn just said. I have done bookkeeping for multi-million-dollar companies, 5 at a time. I did it on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and annual. And I was dedicated, stayed till everything balanced to the penny.
Okay. Awesome. All right, so kind of broader picture here. Sean, what are some ideas that, if you are elected, you've been considering that you would bring to the treasurer's office?
I would like to make it, the customer service, a lot more user-friendly, make people feel welcome. My experiences, I had some that weren't so great. Felt like I was a bother to them. I had to wait long times. Every time I go up there, I usually try to make sure I had everything I needed. Nope, not good enough. I have to go get more papers, whatever. Just, you know, my daughter, she was born in a foreign country. Trying to get her driver's license was a nightmare because nobody knew the answer. And I'm pretty sure it does not come up very often. But I ended up going somewhere else and finding out the answer, and then we could get her license. But just little things like that that need, you know, people need to feel like they're welcome, they're appreciated. We're there to serve them as public servants.
Okay. And Carolyn, I mean, just as all of our organizations do, you know, we get to the start of our new fiscal year, we all have some ideas or things we've examined from the previous year that we're thinking, hey, maybe we can install something like that. So do you have any ideas that you've been kind of thinking about maybe adding to the treasurer's office in the next coming fiscal year?
So I always try to be proactive and forward thinking in everything that we do. Sometimes the changes are implemented by our office, but sometimes they are not. They are dictated by other offices or other means. For example, the DOT, to a certain extent, dictates our hours. The courthouse itself dictates our hours. DOT is only available for support during the same hours that we are, so that makes it difficult to do anything different than that. The hours, like I said, are dictated by the DOT, but also the equipment that we have is dictated by the DOT and what services we can provide. Sometimes we are not considered what's called a superstation, so we do not have all the access that someone like Council Bluffs or Ankeny might have, for example. So those are things that are out of our reach, out of our realm of what we can do to provide that service. But I can say that we have increased a lot of our business in the office. We provide services that a lot of counties don't provide. It's important to me that we provide CDLs for this community because we are a farming community and we do have trucking companies in this community, and we provide that service. We also provide motorcycles, drives, something right now with the gas prices being high, we're seeing a lot more of. So we are a full service treasurer's office, and not all of them are in the state.
Great. So, again, thinking about ideas, new things that may be coming down the road. Carolyn, what do you see are things regarding technology changes for the treasurer's office that may make it easier for the public to interact with you?
So, a lot of our things are also dictated by the Iowa County Treasurers Association. We work with their website to get out the information. Also the Iowa DOT website. I can say that we have always been forward thinking in that regard too, as far as technology. As I mentioned earlier, most of that is dictated by the DOT with the equipment that we have. We try to be forward thinking also in the fact that we have parent-taught driver's education, that we are trying to process those with a little bit more appointment times. And yes, appointment times are something that I never would have thought of a few years ago. But because we do provide so many services for that, with Skip the Trip, we have to now provide driver's education. We have to have a driver's education manual that we have a driver's examiner in our office that has to do those drives with each one of the students in that area. So that takes up about 45 minutes per drive. And it used to be that we used to have only about 100 or less drives in a year. Now we've more than doubled that. So as with a lot of other businesses, we take on additional duties with the same amount of staff.
Okay. And Shauna, same question to you. Again, wide open, just thinking about technology. What are some of the things that you think might become part of the treasurer's office in the near future to help individuals interact better with the office?
Well, I don't know if it's on the table, if it's in the future, because I'm not privy to all that information, but I see in the future people being able to go in and do their own, like at a kiosk, doing most of their stuff on a kiosk. Or from home, I know we can renew our property taxes online, our car tags online, and I have used that, technology. A lot of people don't. Maybe some informational, educational pamphlets, whatever, to help people walk through that step. I think that would be beneficial to people in our community, especially people who are not very computer savvy,
Right. Okay. So again, kind of thinking about along these lines of ways to change the way the public may be able to interact. And again, now this isn't something that's going to happen, it's just one of those wish list things.
Right.
Okay. So say from the governor's office, they all of a sudden announced, we think that the treasurer's office throughout the state of Iowa are the most important, and we're going to give every treasurer a $100,000 grant. How would you spend that money?
Me first? Training is a huge, I see that in a lot of businesses, a lot of different, there's not enough funding for training for their employees, technology, to upgrade their technology that, probably have some out-of-date computers, monitors, whatever, printers, whatever you need, but spend it where we need it the most.
And Carolyn, same question. Governor Reynolds just showed up in Harlan and handed you a $100,000 check. What are you going to do with it?
That would be great. I would add additional staff. We have a hard time trying to fit everything in the 5 days a week. Other county treasurer's offices aren't open the 5 days a week that we are for driver's license, for example. They're closed during the lunch hours. We're open during the lunch hours. They're only offer services 2 days a week. We offer services 5 days a week from the time that we get there until the time we close, 8 o'clock till 4 o'clock. I would definitely add more staff, which would allow us to provide more services. Our training is dictated by the DOT. We are required to meet certain training criteria. In fact, we just had fraud protection training here, anti-terrorism training recently. Those are all trainings that we have to try to get in during the day, during our work day, because those oftentimes are live and not recorded. So that's another thing that kind of makes it hard for us to try to wait on customers and to try to do our training, because there's always usually something at the end that we have to pass to do that. So training is dictated by the DOT in that regard. And then as far as the equipment, like I said, that's dictated by the DOT. Even if we requested another station for our driver's license issuance, we would not be granted that. So.
Okay. All right. As we all know, everything from the state kind of rolls down to us on the local end. So as things change, what do you see as new responsibilities that may end up in your office over the next 4 years that currently aren't part of the treasurer's office? And Carolyn, we'll go ahead and let you answer that first.
We are constantly meeting day-to-day challenges. One of the most recent things is contiguous county titling. I can see that to only affect our office even more. That for those of you who may not know what contiguous county titling is, we now have to serve all residents who have counties that border us. So we're now serving Cass County, Audubon County, Carroll County, Potawatomi County, Harrison County, and so on. We're serving them for their title needs. Again, that's taking on a lot of more responsibilities. A lot of those things, people may not realize it just because we don't have a customer in front of us at the counter. That doesn't mean that we're not assisting a customer on the phone, or even more so here with technology. A lot of our information comes in electronically. We can get several a day from car dealerships. It doesn't matter if we've come to realize that they don't care if they have Shelby County plates. They get issued Shelby County plates if we do that electronic title for them, but they're okay with that. So that's one of the things that we are faced with, and a lot of electronic things that come in, and a lot of research. People who have maybe had a speeding ticket or had their license taken away for an OWI or something of that nature. We're having to do research for those customers to tell them how they can get their license back. And we want to get their license back. That's another thing that other counties don't offer. It's not part of our 28E agreement with the state to offer that temporary restricted license, but we want those people to get back on the road and get to their employment and help them however we can. We want to be that full service office.
And Shauna, just from your perspective, what additional things could you see coming down towards the treasurer's office over the next 4 years? It's just going to expand what you're required to do.
Don't really know. Yeah, because I'm not in the treasurer's office. I am not privy to, I could see where, like, say they take, budget cuts and they have to take, on more responsibilities from another department or, things like that.
Okay. All right. Now, we're going to come to the closing statements for each. Shauna, you can go first. Okay. So, with this crowd here, the crowd that will be watching you on television, let them know why they should vote for you.
I think we need a change in our county. I'm very, not involved in politics, but I pay attention. I know what's going on. And I've been encouraged to go out and try it. Make changes for our community, make changes for our state, make changes for our federal government. Get involved in the grassroots level. That's how we make a change. Because our country is not doing well right now, and I think we need change, and we have to start at the bottom. Everybody needs to get involved in somehow. Help count ballots, help at the polls, go out and campaign.
Carolyn, same question for you.
Back in 2006, I realized I wanted to be a stronger part of county government. And I believe that my career path in that regard paved the way for me to do that with working in the banking industry and the law industry. And I think one thing that's extremely important in the treasurer's office is being trustworthy. And I feel like I've proven that over the years with not only customers, but with my peers. I take great pride in the fact that I was one of the first in the state to become a certified treasurer, which was by going through Iowa State University for credits at no cost to the county and on my own time. And I feel like I have the respect of my peers, and I have been involved in numerous committees because I feel like that gains extra help for our office, and having good relationships with other senators and at the Capitol. It helps the Treasurers Association with that. I feel like I'm a fair person. I feel like I'm a caring person, an honest person. I have good citizenship. I want to do my share to help Shelby County however I can. And I feel like I'm professional, and I have the ability to multitask as well as my staff. And I can't do this without my staff. They are an amazing group of people who work hard and tirelessly and try to get questions answered and research people in a timely manner. And I would just appreciate your vote, and this year in this election as in years in the past. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, ladies. Appreciate it. Everybody, please thank the candidates for coming tonight. a quick minute and we're going to shift offices here. So we'll have the supervisor candidates come up. All right, so thank you to Mike Colby and Bryce for coming out, Bryce Shaker for coming out tonight to answer some of our questions regarding the supervisor position. They're both candidates for an open seat. And as we did with the previous office, first thing we'll do is we'll just open up with an opening comment from each. So Mike, go ahead and start with your opening comment.
Okay. Thank you, Todd. My name is Mike Colby, and I've been a resident of Shelby County for the last almost 40 years now. I grew up in central Iowa, came out here, met a Shelby County girl, married her, and I'm still here. So we have 3 grown children, kind of spread throughout Iowa and the United States. I have many friends and business associates in the county, and so that's one reason I'm seeking this seat, is so that I can represent the entire county. I've spent the last 8 years as a Harlan City Council person and mayor, and I kind of want to broaden that scope a little bit. I've got, as I mentioned, friends and experiences throughout the county. Our first date was in Shelby. My wife Tammy is over here. So I took her on her first date to Shelby to Fun Days. We got married in Irwin, and since then she's just had nothing but fantastic experiences with me, so appreciate that. I've also coached kids from all over the county, so I've gotten to know a lot of parents that way, and then through my business, through my work with the Harlan newspapers, I've gotten many business associates throughout the county as well.
Right, thank you. Bryce, go ahead with an introduction, opening statement.
My name is Bryce Shelby. My wife Carrie's sitting back there, 31 years. We met at college, at Peru State College. We have 3 children. Jacob, who's a park officer for the Iowa DNR, stationed at Stone State Park in Sioux City. Josh is the Deputy Director of the Monona County Conservation Board, and my daughter Jess is a school teacher. She'll be a Blair this year. We have 3 grandchildren and 2 on the way, and I'm a lifelong resident of Shelby County, 4th generation member of St. Peter's Church in Defiance. I'm currently the Shelby County Roadside Manager. I'm the Weed Commissioner, I'm the Safety Director, and I am the Wellness Coordinator. So got a lot on my plate, but I enjoy being busy, and thanks for having me tonight.
Okay, great. So again, just as we did with the candidates for the Treasurer's Office, we'll ask questions, we'll alternate who gets to answer first. So Mike, we'll start with you. What do you feel are the primary issues facing Shelby County over the next 4 years?
Aside from the normal things, budget, roads, mental health issues, those kinds of things, I see 2 immediate things coming up. One is the proposed Summit Carbon pipeline issue, and again, I don't see that has any place for eminent domain to be used in that. I attended both of the public meetings for that, one hosted by Summit Carbon Solutions personnel, and I also attended the one hosted by those opposed to the project. And after hearing both sides, which is the way I like to do things, I still don't see any public benefit for that project, so I don't believe eminent domain should be used for that. The other thing I see as an issue coming up short is the way ambulance service and our EMS services is provided throughout the county. Our first responders are not getting any younger. There's fewer and fewer of them in all of our communities around the county. And the training necessary to undertake those positions and the physical demands just really puts a strain on our EMS services. The Shelby County Ambulance Commission, which is funded by Harlan and the county, or the hospital, Ritchie Medical Center, they have begun discussions on how to address this problem, but it's going to take a lot of forethought on how that's going to be handled, and as always, it's going to come back on the taxpayer how that's funded, so it needs to be carefully thought through, so we continue to have good ambulance and medical services throughout the county.
Bryce, same question, just the issues you see, the challenges coming up over the next 4 years.
I echo Mike on those 2 things. I had those written down in my notes. I think one of the biggest things is the economy. Fuel has more than doubled. Supplies, everything has just gone through the roof. When budgets were passed, probably back in March, fuel has doubled since then. So how do you stay within a budget when those things happen? You're just gonna have to be cuts made, and that's all there is to it. So I see that as a huge challenge. Some of the other things I see is the new CDL law is really making it tough for people to get a CDL. It's a longer process. We used to be able to bring summer kids in and get them their CDL in a couple weeks. Yeah, now it takes months. So it's going to put a strain on this community. Relies on trucking heavily. The county relies on trucking heavily. I'd like to find a way to maybe streamline that process. Maybe if we get community colleges involved, maybe get them started in high school. If you can get college credits in high school, maybe why can't you get a CDL started? So those are some of the things I see.
Okay. Now, since you both agreed on it, on the issue of, you know, the EMS and ambulance, and we do know that that's a big concern coming up. Similar to other areas in other states, would you feel like this could become a county responsibility, the county department, to deliver ambulance services to Shelby County?
My turn? Yeah. I absolutely do. I think it's probably going to fall on the county eventually. I'm hoping maybe the hospital, we can get the hospital involved in this process. To me, that's a logical place for an ambulance to be stationed. And maybe, you know, our local EMA providers, our local first responders can maybe work for that ambulance service. So I guess that's what I see on that topic.
Mike, same question.
With all of the expertise that's required through billing, Medicare, Medicaid, continued training, the expense of having EMTs and paramedics, I think Emergency Medical Center is going to have to be home base for that. The county may play a role in somehow with our other communities having ambulance possibly stationed throughout the county, but I see with all the expertise and legal requirements and whatnot, I really see the Emergency Medical Center being a lead player in that. Again, there's going to be multiple hands in it. Perhaps each community is going to have to kick in some per capita, but I think Emergency Medical Center will be the driving force on that.
Okay. Question for you, Mike. What area of county government do you feel deserves the most attention?
Well, that's a loaded question. The biggies, of course, the road department is big. Mental health issues are big. Emergency services are big through the EMA Association, Emergency Management Association. So, you know, those are big departments. Now, the ones that touch most people on a regular basis, things like the driver's license station, motor vehicle, the title department, all those things, you know, they're all very important. Some have bigger dollar tags and price tags in front of them than others, but some of the ones that don't affect as many people have a bigger price tag. For mental health, for instance, that's going to be hugely important in the next 3 years. So I don't know one area is more important than the other, but at times, you know, they're going to need attention when changes occur, or perhaps our demographics change as we get older people, and if we have more mental health issues, then maybe that department will need more attention. But I think you got to play it as it goes and see what needs attention.
Okay. Bryce, same question.
I don't think one department is more important than the other. Every department we have is needed. That's why there's tax dollars funding them. They just all have their own duties, their own jobs, and Shelby County is kind of a lean, mean machine. We're not, our taxes are low compared to other counties, and every department does their job. I know the road department helps out, the landfill helps us, we all work together. So, you know, I can't really put one department ahead of another one.
Okay. Bryce, what do you see as the most pressing needs for infrastructure or capital projects in the county?
Well, I'm told that the city of Harlan, or this area, is tapped as far as being able to have any more large businesses that require gas or water, because our infrastructure here is tapped. So I think infrastructure, working on infrastructure to get the ability to be able to bring in big businesses here is pretty important right now. I think that's one of the most important things that I see.
Okay. Mike, same question.
From an infrastructure standpoint, I would say bridges are one. I was at a supervisor's meeting not too long ago, and I heard the number of bridges that Shelby County has is huge. And we maybe know the answer to that, but there are hundreds of them. And so I think, and I know they've got a plan right now to replace X number of bridges each year, and that takes a lot of money. So bridges or roads, again, that's one thing I've heard over and over, is we need to do something with our roads. So I would consider that with infrastructure. I don't know what that answer is, but I think some questions need to be asked and some heads put together and figure out what that plan would be. And then, I don't know if it's really infrastructure, but recreational opportunities throughout the county park system, camping and recreation opportunities have just flourished in the last 10 years. And I see that to continue to grow, so we need to make sure we have ample opportunities for people to get outdoors and recreate, whether it's a water trail. I'm on that committee. I'm on the Shelby County Bike Trail Committee. And so for people to get out and exercise and get fresh air, I think is very important. So I would see the recreational opportunities as being large.
Okay. Well, let's stay on that theme of opportunities. And what other opportunities do you see that the supervisors could support in Shelby County over the next 4 years? What are things that, like the iron is hot, we need to kind of strike now and take advantage of things that are out there?
Again, I would say the Shelby County trail system that they're building from Panama to Portsmouth is a big one. I'd like to see that supported. The water trail on the river, that's one thing we do not currently have as a safe means of recreating. A little bit different opportunity, I guess, would be to foster better line of communication between the county and our smaller communities. I had the opportunity to visit with every town council in the last 2 months. I went and asked them what their concerns were, and I heard over and over again that they want to be heard at the county level. They don't believe that they're being heard, and if they are heard, that no action is taken when they need help. So I think that would be an opportunity to open up some better communication and dialogue with our communities.
Okay. Bryce, same question.
Can you repeat that? Opportunities for the county?
Yeah, just, again, looking out over the next 4 years, like I said, things that you've heard through conversation or things you just see going on around you, and you're like, we really should do that in Shelby County right now, whether it's to attract business people or to support the people who are currently here.
I think our county has a wealth of really great small businesses. Being said that it's going to be hard to bring a big business in because of our infrastructure, I think we could do a lot with our small businesses. You look at Smitty B. Honey and Defiance, they're expanding all the time. Panama Transfer. If we could find a way to help those businesses, grow a little bit and add employees, I think that would really help our economy a lot. I know I own a small business and pay the local option sales tax, and it helps the economy. I think like Woodbine has a community block grant that they've received for housing. They're getting $19 million into their community for people trying to bring young people into the county or into the city, build a house, and they get a forgivable grant if they stay in the city for so long. I think we need to look at that opportunity for the city of Harlan, because I think we have maybe a housing shortage here. We can use some more housing in the area to bring in those people. So.
Okay. Earlier, we were talking about the economy and projections are, it's going to be rough for a little while. So thinking about that, is there any area of the county budget that you think should be shielded from cuts over the next 4 years? And if yes, why would you shield that area of the budget?
Wow, tough question. Shield the roadside.
Now, and we, just for the general public to know, that's on top of the fact that every department has done an amazing job over the last few years, slowly but surely reducing their costs. They all did a fantastic job, but yet you can't, nobody could project at the time that we were going to run into the economy we're running into right now. So
I don't think there is any department that we don't absolutely need. Every department has a service that is needed for the county. I know years back, the supervisors asked all the departments to cut their budgets 10%. And they accomplished that. It was hard to do, but they accomplished it. And, yeah, tough times are coming, there's no doubt about it. But maybe we can do that again, work together, and try to cut our budgets just down to the bare minimum and try to get through these tough times.
Mike?
You use the word shielding, so I'll try and answer that part of it. I would say public safety is number one. Any level of government, whether it's city, county, state, federal, their number one priority is protecting the public. So I would say public safety has got to be at the top of the list. And closely related to that is mental health. That's a growing problem, and I think just holding that steady would be almost a cut in itself because of the additional demands that are being placed on that. I would like to maybe see if there's some sharing opportunities between counties to help protect some of those areas. I don't know necessarily public safety, but maybe there's some other sharing opportunities between us and neighboring county that we can share resources to help alleviate some of the budget crunch, which we all know is here and will continue for a while.
Okay, great. So, Mike, you thought about taking this job and you looked in the mirror and you said, I'd be a really good supervisor, so I'm going to put my name on the ballot. What unique skills will you bring to the Board of Supervisors?
First and foremost, I waited until I thought I was ready for this position before I ran for it. I've thought about it for several years. I wasn't sure I was ready for it, but after the last 8 years on the Harlan City Council and as mayor, I've gained some insight from others. I've had some good coaches along the way and how they operate and how to look at things objectively and compare and contrast things so that we come up with a solution that's best for all. And I think I'm ready for the job. Public service has just been kind of a necessary and very rewarding thing that I've been a part of for as long as I've been in Shelby County, just about. And being a supervisor for the county would just continue that mission for me to help pay back. Again, my experience, my passion for the job, I think that combination, I hope would earn the vote on June 7th.
Okay. Bryce, I mean, again, I know you feel like you've got some skills you're going to bring to the supervisor's board. What do you see those as being?
I guess for me is I've been there and I've done that. For 32 years I've worked in the county system. Started on the conservation board, went to the Iowa Law Enforcement Academy, became a certified peace officer, so I wore the badge. I know what that job entails. I've worked the conservation, I've worked the resource management, taking care of our county resources. I've even loaded garbage at the landfill a few days. I was in the wrong place at the right time and was given that honor, but I learned and I enjoyed it. I learned, what the landfill's all about. I take care of the landfill grounds, the trees, the brush, the invasive species. And with the safety and wellness, I've got to know all 60 plus full-time employees and even more when we have part-timers. I've got to know the workman's comp program, the mod factor, how we can save money by not having accidents, by encouraging our employees to work safely. And we've done a good job with that. Our mod factor is in great shape. We're saving tens of thousands of dollars every year because our mod factor's down. With the wellness program, I lead that. A great bunch of committee we work with, and every year we get a discount on our health insurance. Last year was $50,000 because everybody accomplished what they needed to do. So I guess my theme is I've been there, I've done that, and when there's questions come up in the boardroom, I have a pretty good idea of what's going on.
Okay. With, again, just the way things have been going over the last few years, it's becoming more and more apparent, and we even mentioned it a little bit during the Treasurer's Office questions, transparency in government. It's becoming more and more vital. And what do you feel may be challenges for the Board of Supervisors in providing transparency to the public? Because there's a lot of things that you're working on that by the time it's public, it's got to almost already be handled. So where do you see that line when it comes to being transparent to the public, yet being able to do your jobs? Yeah, so.
Like Carolyn said earlier, we have a state auditor that comes in and they spend a lot of time looking through our books, the county road department has to inventory every nut and bolt. So we do a real good job of trying to make the books balance. And if they don't, I've never been a part of that, of the books not balancing, and I don't ever want to be a part of that. So just good oversight by the supervisors, the department heads, just making sure everybody's doing their job and making sure there's no funny business going on. So I guess that's all I have to talk on that.
Okay.
Well, unfortunately, I have been on the other side of that, and I think it's the supervisor's job, just as it was my job as a city council person, to ask questions and look into things that don't look right. And once you find something that doesn't look right, then you need to ask more questions and figure out why it doesn't look right. And if there is something that's not being done properly, then action needs to be taken on. And I can do that. I would encourage everyone to attend public meetings, first and foremost. You can learn a lot at a public meeting. You may not make it into the newspaper or on the radio. You will hear questions asked that don't always make it into the public realm, but you learn a lot at those. So I would encourage people to attend public meetings. And I have learned over the years to talk to anybody about anything. If it's not public knowledge and it needs to be kept confidential, I will do that. But as soon as it's public knowledge, I'll be happy to answer any questions for anybody. And most of the time I learn something when I do talk to people about things that I might not have known before. So again, in visiting with the town councils, I promised them that I would be back at least once a year to listen to them. And more often than that, if they ask me to, if they want me there, just to hear from the outside coming in what needs to be done. And if somebody knows or thinks something's being done inappropriately, I want to know about it.
Okay. So earlier we were talking about opportunities, things that we would look at to bring to the county or try to strike while the iron is hot. Broadening that out a little bit, when you think about the services that we provide to the communities from our county, what's a program that you think we should look at getting this introduced, a program that maybe we don't offer right now?
Gosh, I hadn't thought about that one. I think education, and I don't know if it's a county thing, but if the county can play a part in fostering education with our small businesses, to get people trained to go to work for our small businesses so that they can find employees to stay in business. I mean, that would be a horrible way to go out of business just simply because you couldn't find employees to do the job. I think Shelby County has a boatload of services. Anybody that looks for them can usually find the service. Sometimes it's just not knowing what services are available. And so maybe one of those things that we could do better is get everybody communicating better between each other, so that what the city of Panama might have going for it that maybe Irwin doesn't or Harlan doesn't, the county can be a middleman in there and have a database of what's available, whether that's for business or for housing. There's good affordable housing in some of our smaller communities, so if there was a database of available housing, when somebody comes to Harlan, sometimes that's all the farther they look. And if somebody knows that there's available units for rent or for purchase, that might be something the county can get involved with, is just helping each other talk and understand what's available for all the services that are required.
Bryce, same question. What's a program that you would like to see introduced in Shelby County that maybe doesn't exist now?
Oh, we have a lot of recreation here that people don't know about, hidden gems in our parks. And the Mission on the River is really becoming a recreational opportunity. We're getting more boat ramps for the kayakers and things like that. And kayaking is becoming huge. Christina down at the Conservation Office is doing tons of kayak programs, and they are very well attended. She's teaching them the right way to kayak, the best kayaks to get, things like that. And, we've got a lot of river out here that we can utilize a lot more, I think. I would like to see more access to the river for the kayakers, and just, our parks used more for that purpose. So.
Okay. All right, Bryce, we're at that point now where you can tell the folks in attendance and the folks who will be watching on TV why they should vote for you.
Okay. That's here. Like I said, I've worked for the county for over 32 years in a lot of the departments. I've driven every single road in this county, 950 miles of road we have in this county. I've been on every road. So I know the county very, very well, inside and out. The past 20 years, I brought in over $150,000 in grants for the conservation and roadside department in either seed or equipment. Like I said before, the wellness program that I lead, we save the county at least $50,000 every year in health insurance premiums, because we get the work done. I stay on the people and we get the work done. Safety, we really opened up a great safety, I guess we do a lot more with safety now. Every year our mod factor has gotten better and better, and it's staying there now, which is saving us thousands, tens of thousands of dollars in work comp premiums every year. So I'm kind of proud of that, and I just really think I have the experience to make a great county supervisor, because I've been there and I've done that. So.
Okay, thanks. Mike?
My campaign theme has been proven leadership, providing a voice for all. And I think the last 8 years especially, and the 30 years prior to that, I've proven that I've got the ambition and the drive and kind of the love of public service. To continue this mission on as a supervisor would be a great honor. I'm not doing it for the money. And I just think that I would bring the same energy and enthusiasm to this position that I've brought to other positions that I've held in Harlan and some of the other committees throughout the county. I currently serve on the Shelby County Trails Committee, the Shelby County Wellness Alliance, Shelby County Water Trail, helping to provide those accesses to the river. I've been on the SWIPCO board, so I've dealt with many of the agencies, Emergency Management Agency, I've been on that board, and I do know that all of these different entities need to work together for the good of all. And so I hope my commitment to public service and my years of experience will earn me the vote on June 7th.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it. Thanks to everyone who came out tonight. Remember, June 7th is the primary. Vote. It's really important that you vote. Have a great night.